Oh, Kissay! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO, delivered by Menulog. We got the fourth and final game coming up right now. It's Chiefs, it's Mammoth, and we get to see just how both these teams are looking. Chiefs with a slight fresh face in the lineup, Mammoth with a fair few from what I have heard. Of course, you guys have been killing it on the cast tonight, and I can't wait to see what you're going to be doing here. Do you expect Mammoth to bring in something experimental, something fun to kick off the split?
Do you ever know with Mammoth? Like, do you ever really know?
You don't really know, do you? Like, they will really play anything, quite honestly. I mean, I think by the end of the split, fair enough, it kind of went to, like, the voice show, where it was just, like, hope that he can win.
Yeah.
But certainly early on, it was, like, you know, Tronthepom popping off on, like, Vladimir and stuff in the top lane way before people are playing it elsewhere. We had them playing, like, these, like, hard engage. It was, like, Galio Jarvan, just wombo combo Beyblade comps. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
Yo, do you know they won't play Raes? If they play Raes, I'll be shocked. They're just too busy spamming QWE in chat. They're too busy doing that to play.
We've already talked about this. You know, it's EQ, Alt F4. That's how you play Raes.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Okay, beautiful. Well, look, let's have a look at the Mammoth lineup. Let's see who's on it going into Split 2, because there has been a slight change-up. Or so I'm told.
Not in the starting roster.
Not in the starting roster. There you go. So we still got Tronthepom, Meifan, Reufury, Voice, and Rocco Rusty. What are we expecting this team to do? And can they place higher this split?
I mean, that is the expectation, right? So the fact that the roster is starting the exact same, I think it's always fair to say, I felt the same way with Gravitas. You start the season expecting them to be split 2 teams.
Yeah.
Maybe not title contenders, but playoff contenders at the least, right? So that's what you're expecting coming into this. They have picked up a couple of new players. Paparazzi, you just saw on your screen, is one of those, a returning veteran of the Oceanic scene. So definitely has a lot of knowledge to impart for the rest of the squad, and maybe is that extra lift that they need to make it all the way to the playoffs when he jumps in.
Yeah, look, they were having a bit of fun there, of course, on the media day. All of them looking in fine form and ready to just take it down to the Rift. Now, we've got to start talking about Chiefs as well. Skimmy, tell me, can they make up for lost time? Because they got so close at the end of last split, and they are hungry to actually make it the whole way.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, certainly early days in Split 1, it felt like a bit of a two-legged race between them and Peace to try and take out the cash, the ultimate prize. They had that insane run to get themselves into a very early grand final position, but just faltered at that final hurdle, right? Still one of these teams that we've touted as being built as a super team. Topoon, a solo kill demon. I think it was like 15th in the world, which is phenomenal. Arthur, obviously, from his time spent in career in the LCK. Tele is just omnipresent, plays any lane, insane utility player. Raes as the literal perfect player, probably the best AD carry still in Oceania. And then Aladoric makes his return, right? Breaks away from the partnership that he had with Violet for the Peace 2021 Worlds run. And he said, I'm back. I'm here for Split 2. We're going to make this Chiefs roster that much better.
And I can't wait to see what him and Raes can do and just how that chemistry works towards the bot lane. Of course, Dragku's not here at the moment, but he is going to be moved to that sub role. And of course, look, Topoon, he was just so good up top. You already mentioned it. Can't wait to see what he's going to be able to do up against Tronthepom today, who was doing okay work in that first split. Sort of fell off towards the end, but I still remember his Vladimir up top. That was where things were going well, and Vlad's in the meta at the moment.
Yeah, that's actually true. Vladimir is unironically playable in a competitive meta, not just in Mammoth games now. That's certainly a champion that they might look towards playing. Yeah, it's true.
Hey, I'm here.
You got him.
I'm on an analysist desk. Kitty, anything you want to say about this matchup between these two teams? Do you think Mammoth have a shot with Voice in the server?
With Voice in the server, well, I'm going to say it on stream, Karthus. Period. Okay, anyways, with Aladoric returning onto the Chiefs roster, I think it's going to be a really tough one for Mammoth because, in my opinion, I think Raes and Aladoric are the best in their roles in Oceania, and they're gonna have a really hard challenge for Voice and Rocco as they return into the LCO split.
Okay, so what are we expecting? A whitewash? Are we thinking Chiefs are still going to be that #1 contender? Are they going to blitz Mammoth, or are we coming straight out of the gates with one of those Mammoth upsets?
I think they blitz them.
I think they blitzed them because if you look at their last 3 games of Split 1, it was 25 minutes, 21 minutes, and 16 minutes. So they certainly went in and said, look, you know, we're going to take you down a peg and sort of humble you and say there's a big divide between LCO pros, or those that have been around in the scene for a while, and those that are making their breakthrough.
And what did they change, Mac, between splits? It was a support player that is even more aggressive.
Yes.
So if ever they're going to blitz them.
That's what I remember. Aladoric was like the most aggressive support I've probably ever seen in LCO. Now, we have a legend of the esport on the line. G'day, mate. How are you doing, Tally? Good to see your face again.
That's good to see you as well. It was nice seeing you at Media Day.
Hey, look, that was our little secret, all right? We didn't have to talk about that. But look, it's good to see you. And that smile, it looks just as good on camera as it does in real life. Need to put that one out there. Now, Kitty, any questions?
Well, Tally, it's been a while since I got to talk to you. So how has the team changed and adapted since that loss in Grand Finals Split 1?
I'd say we looked at like ourselves individually because we had a lot of work to do after that loss because it was like not what we expected at all, and everyone just like took a break, came back like prepared. They figured out what they need to improve on and like what they need to do to be like the best player in their role.
Okay, now talk to me. This match in particular, Mammoth, are you scared that they're going to be able to pull out any crazy off-meta picks, anything weird, wacky, wonderful, or are you just not too worried, just playing your own game?
I mean, I'm not gonna disrespect Mammoth at all. Like they definitely took games off teams last split. Like they upset PGG, so they're definitely like a good side, and we'll still respect them. But like I'm comfortable with this matchup.
We also have Aladoric returning to the scene, joining Chiefs for this split. What do you think he provides for the team, and how will that change the team's identity?
Now, actually, I have a point about this. Ooh. So I've been reading the articles I've seen. Okay, and there was way too much favoritism towards Violet, and everyone's forgetting about Aladoric. Okay, Aladoric is just as good as Violet, and he needs justice. So justice for Aladoric.
Okay, justice for Aladoric. Get it trending again, maybe. Now, let's see how that one unfolds. For now, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you get ready. Good to see the boys in the background, of course, laughing at themselves from the media day. I heard a few chuckles, and good to see the spirit fight.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
No worries. Thank you, Tally. Always good to chat with the big man. Now, anything you guys took away from that interview? Do you think we need more justice for Aladoric?
Sure, why not? I mean, the man pops off. I mean, we were talking about it during our prep, right? It's like he was, once upon a time, the Rakan player. I mean, I think it was him and Decoy back in like 2021. That was like the only guys that would play. If you saw Rakan, you're like, that's a pocket pick. Almost like you'd say a ban away from like Kevy's Evelyn. I guess like last split was pretty much like Rogue, really, the main player towards that Rakan. But you see like the montages of Aladoric playing, it was, definitely Rakan engages, like those huge Leona engages. So I'm curious to see how he does in this Enchanter meta. Yeah,
we'll see if you're leaking cheap strats live on air too.
It's free real estate.
Speaking of leaking, you guys, I heard you've been throwing away a couple of those Twitch channel points. So make sure you don't do that now for the Dare fan vote. Again, it's your last chance today to work on some, but of course it's only day one of like 25, 26, 20-something days of broadcast that we got. So you got some time to make sure you crank up the hours, work up those Twitch points, and make some more with the Dare fan votes. Now, let's have a look at how we think this one's going to be going. Again, it's one of these heavy favorite games. We didn't really take into account, the Tronthepom Vlad power spike.
That's so true, King.
But we've all gone with Chiefs anyway.
I don't think it would have changed.
He's enjoying this far too much. You know what? I'm just happy to be in studio.
Yeah.
More than anything else, I'm just happy that I could say that to him and not be afraid of a delay and an awkward interaction.
I didn't catch you, actually.
It's just the difference it makes is unbelievable. Nature is healing. Nature is
healing.
You are the king of doing that, though.
I am.
Just holding it, especially with Winter's interviews. Because he's just unsure where to look or what to do.
It's true. It's true. Like at least we did get to bait production and then go.
Yeah, they were panicking. Let's be honest.
And now if I do it, they're just like, this guy's literally an idiot.
He's having a moment.
And I am just having a moment. But it's a good moment to have. Of course, Chiefs. I've gone with them over Mammoth because I'm going for the favorites for a little bit. I got way too deep in the underdog thing last split. I'm just having a look at the form before I do start to put some predictions on the underdogs, and then we make it spicy. And then look, if I dig too deep of a hole, then I'll go with the Dare fan vote and you guys can do my predictions for me again. But until then, we're on the right track, on the rails, good rails. I'm personally falling off them. So I'm going to go look at myself hard in the mirror for a moment. And you guys get to look at Champ Select because it's ready for the 4th game of the day.
Some pretty good segues, eh?
Yes.
I'm actually really vibing out to these ones today. Well, welcome back, guys.
Look at myself.
Yeah, oh, hello. Which camera? There's the camera. That one's on. Let's talk to the camera directly to you. We're waiting for Champ Select to pop up. So whilst I do that, I'll just stare into yourself for a few seconds. Maybe close your eyes, a bit of ASMR. Who knows? Maybe Rusty will join in.
Have you ever heard someone
Maybe
riff at such a fast pace? That's the thing that gets me. It's like, I get that you're just like, you're on the fly, but that's exceptional.
It happens.
It's just speed talking.
Maybe that's how I found my way into this position as a play-by-play, because I have to do a lot of talking on the fly.
I don't want you to be an analyst, to put it simply.
I would be terrible as an analyst.
Not with that pace.
No. No. Yeah, well, we are here on the couch.
Hey!
With a draft. There we go. Fantastic. Chiefs on the left-hand side, so they're going to be starting things off, which is great for us to see. And they got themselves a Wukong. Love that for them. As Mammoth are going to respond back and say, Graves is our gravy, if you will, for them to lock in. And I am seeing a Kassadin being banned away. We do know that Reufury, a bit of a demon on that champ.
He does like a good Kassadin. It does make you wonder what they're going to be picking for mid, though, that justifies the Kassadin ban. Perhaps this is something they're going to go towards. The Vladimir also taken away from Tronthepom, so unfortunately for Mac, all strategies are out the window.
The win rate's
been countered by the ban phase.
Yeah.
Now the predictions are just going to ring true. That is an odd hover considering that Lissandra is locked in. So right now you'd assume Lissandra mid, Wukong jungle, a little bit more MSI-esque in what we're seeing so far.
Yeah.
Question marks are going to go towards the bot lane. I think always, without a doubt, we're going to be looking at what these bot lane 2v2s pick for themselves. We've seen a distinct lack of engage supports as we adapt to the new patch and the new meta. But we've got the Nautilus this time locked in 3rd.
Yeah, just wondering whether that means Raes is saying, I just want to be engage heavy. I don't want to sit back and relax and sort of play around that. We're going to play to our strengths. And if Aladoric is that one that wants to engage, then let's just have at it. We talk about Raes, though, in terms of his options. Obviously, his most played was that Aphelios, 10 games on it, 100% win rate. A bit of a smurf, to say the least, but he has that pocket pick Tristana, right? When we don't see too much Tristana, be it 5-2 in the mid lane, it would be his to try and deliver it in the bot lane if we are looking at scaling being the theme of this patch.
Okay, I like this pick from Mammoth 3rd. I do think that Renata, one of her better matchups, is Nautilus. In fact, Renata does very well into a lot of engage champions, especially those with some predictable engage, right? Nautilus throws the hook, you actually have time to buffer your own Q. So very preferential. You also get a lot of wave priority and control with your E at level 1, and you can auto-attack a melee champion when he goes for those minions. So double range bot lane, very powerful in that respect. Voice now does kind of have the freedom to play whatever AD he would like, as their composition is already set with a Xerath mid, presumably in the first 2 for Reufury. It could just be an Ezreal angle from Voice. You've also got the Kog'Maw that is going to be banned away as an option, just because, you know, Renata is a bit of an enchanter with that one. And keeping a Kog'Maw alive with the W for an extra period of time is Kog'Maw doing damage for more time, which definitely ramps up. But we'll see where they choose to go. And, you know, is it something like a Twitch? Is it something that we've been hinting towards like the Twitch, or is it perhaps just like an Ezreal that sits back and they play a long-range bombardment?
Would love to see Voice on some Twitch, just absolutely space gliding across this map and saying, Raes, mate, you think you're the best? Well, how about this? One thing that I found kind of interesting, actually, reflecting on Split 1, is just the amount of champs, the unique champs, actually, that have been played by these teams. And Mammoth have literally played everything. It was almost like a bargain bin of like, what should we play today? They played 62 unique champions across Split 1. Compare that to Chiefs, literally on the bottom end, only 45. So I guess it's a question to be made as to solo queue sample sizes versus just like play the meta. But I mean, Sivir's one of these champions that Voice has always been screaming at.
Yes, I was oddly mind-controlling him, it felt like, because that's the one champion I named in our last segment. I would like to see a little bit more Sivir here and there, not as like a mainstay. But Sivir's going to be picked blind here, with the AD carry still ready to be picked by the Chiefs. So very much looking forward to where they choose to go. Yeah, you've got your Draven, right? Draven Nautilus could be a powerhouse duo,
Certainly.
2v2. Even if the Renata stops any kind of crazy engages from Nautilus or overexertions, there is still going to be value there. Also, presumably, is going to be the lethality Sivir build. You've already got a Graves there for extra AD damage.
Okay.
I'm expecting to see the, you know, the Duskblade style build, but
Boomerang.
yeah, just remember that on this patch, and I haven't seen Voice play Sivir since the patch, with the extra health, extra armor that does exist, perhaps the lethality build just isn't as strong.
Yeah,
maybe it is a non-hit build.
Once upon a time, it was the 500 CS dream, right, for a Sivir, where it could really just do wonders by the late point of this one. Raes certainly did deliberate on his choice, cycling through a lot of his options, be it the likes of that Aphelios, even the Callista for a second there.
Yeah.
Has ultimately settled away from those and said, look, Draven, as you highlighted, if we want pure aggression, this will deliver. And let's not forget that ultimate he made during the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Raes, so I think the reason that Draven is kind of funny in this comp is that you get handled by a smoke screen, Xerath outranges you, Renata also uses the ultimate, right? And you're just going to one-hit your teammates. This time they are very tanky, however, so it may not be one-hits.
Sure.
You're kind of picking the Draven to win lane, which is fair. That's kind of what Draven does anyway, so I don't think there's too much of an issue with the pick. Just waiting to see. That's Aatrox.
Yes, that's what we got confirmation.
Aatrox, that red box.
So Aatrox has been locked in as the final pick here for Mammoth, and I mean, it is one of those champions that we've certainly heard from a lot of these players, right? If the likes of Gwen and GP are contested, in this case actually banned away by Mammoth, Aatrox seems to fit the bill as like the next, almost like blind pickable bruiser. Yeah,
it's probably the third in line to the throne after those two for sure. So I like this. It does mean it's going to be the Aatrox top lane. I think that they haven't really swapped around just because of the API issue, but nevertheless, as we see the composition now, the Aatrox provides not exactly a hard engage for them, and that is maybe the only concern. If you're highlighting the difference between both compositions right now, Xerath, Sivir are very capable of throwing long-range abilities. Graves feels close range. Renata is kind of like a champion that wants to kite back, and I think Aatrox can do the same, and I think that's really what we're seeing here from Mammoth's composition as a whole. If they're going to be playing forced into a 5v5 front to back type of style, I do think they're going to excel at just like kiting back.
Yeah.
You know, letting the Chiefs engage because that's what their comp wants to do, and just, you know, just assaulting them with abilities and just throwing things out constantly and just pelting them. Aatrox maybe can flank. That might be the one point of difference.
But obviously, to allow that to happen, vision control is going to be absolutely paramount here for Mammoth to ensure that they do have that vision to allow them to utilize that range. Otherwise, a team as well drilled as the Chiefs will utilize all sources of engage to try and find those angles, find those flanks, and ultimately find the win. Here we go as, oh, hang on a minute. This is looking like a bit of a cheeky level one. As the Chiefs are going to go roaming into the enemy jungle only 30 seconds into this one. Aladoric, the one to lead the line and say, welcome back to the LCO. You've popped your barrier, but you've given our jungler first blood. How about that? We haven't jumped into a coaching interview, so this time we have not cursed it.
And are we going to jump into one now, or do we talk about this? That's the question. I'm lost. What do we do?
Well, I believe we can jump into it in just a second, and we do actually get a chance to speak to somebody new this time. Now, I know people are always a big fan of these Chiefs interviews, but there has been a bit of a personnel change behind the scenes for them, so I do believe this time we've actually got Babip on the line. Actually, no, production have told me he's not ready just yet, so...
Oh, he's not ready.
Grand introductions aside, quickly, 2 cents, first blood.
Wrap it up. We don't get him anymore. He doesn't deserve it. He's missed the first blood. No, look, I mean, aggressive early engage, the things that matter as we get into this and before the coach interview is all the summoner spells that are missing, right? So no flashes for the bottom lane of Chiefs, no flash for Arthur. Doesn't mean it's very difficult for them to make a lot of aggressive early plays. However, the Hex Flash compensates nicely.
It really does. And it's going to look interesting to see how this one continues to play out. Bear in mind, Reufury has played this Xerath already. Voice played one game of the Sivir last split, but the only big difference for me has to be the fact that Meifan's never played this Graves, even though it has been a very strong pick for literally the entirety of this year. Oh, it's another beautiful hook! And he is playing the Glacial Augment, so he might be squishy, but you're just not running away.
Yeah, no, it's just a clean hook from Aladoric. I mean, one of the very few tanks that we have seen today. This is the second Nautilus of the day. First one was a big loss, though, as it was a Callista bomb that killed it at level 1 from the side of Order. That's a much improved start and another hook.
Tell me it's not so rusty. He just does not miss. An exhaust has to be instantly cleansed. He's just out of range by the chance.
Yeah, if he had flash, the cleanse was good, Skimmy, but he cleansed for no real reason there. And saying that in this lane, there's nothing to actually cleanse other than that exhaust. So it is a fair usage. Controls the lane, the hooks connect, Aladoric back into the LCO, and welcome. Thrown into the fire is Mammoth.
Suddenly has announced himself, much like Violet did in that game prior, after returning to where he found that first blood, welcoming Meifan back into Split 2 and saying, did you miss playing competitive? Because you're certainly forced back to your base.
Yeah, Meifan actually dashed into the bush, like straight up into the face of Arthur, who had the red buff just completed, so little bit off there in timing by a couple of seconds. Arthur now going to go straight through mid, perhaps looking straight towards the bot Scuttlecrab, but also to take away the full red side clear. So just keep that in mind here. Meifan does retain his smite. Arthur does not have that in hand, but Aladoric's nearby.
It certainly is. And whilst we had a quick chance to breathe, we will not be hearing from Babip today. So unfortunately, coach interviews not to be the case. We'll have to hear from him on another occasion. But as far as things go, I'm sure if he is watching, which he should be, he'll be very happy.
You would expect him to be watching after he's just finished the draft for the team now in his new coaching role. So far, looking at this game 3 minutes in, Tally's been trading really nicely in mid lane. I saw a couple of early trades where he got multiple auto attacks off. That's always, you know, a far cry from expectations in a Xerath lane. Xerath tends to auto attack just for the purpose of getting his passive mana back to continue to throw more long-range skill shots. Not going to say anyone's surprised at the Dare fan vote here, Skimmy as well. That should come as no surprise to anyone for a finalist that went to Game 5 in Chiefs, theoretically upgrading their roster.
It's the most lopsided we've had it actually all night, given how many games we felt have been fairly one-sided for the opening night here in the LCO. This one really is a clean sweep across the board here. And you can see why, just from the aggression and the control and just the positioning. I mean, a very early rotate here from Aladoric. Rocco's going to say, I want to try and do the same, but hang on a minute, you're not anywhere near as tanky. You're getting the full stat flash as you hit the handshake to bring Aladoric just a fraction closer, but off goes Tally, saying, you're in trouble. The axe to knock you back, the damage to take you down, and you might try and empower yourself, but you need a killing blow to survive.
Yeah, delaying the inevitable there is going to be Rocco. On this Renata, something that we haven't seen too much of just yet in competitive leagues. So very exciting to see the Renata as a pickable option. Topoon struggling a little bit in top lane, I think it is fair to say, but Arthur nearby sweeps his way through, and he's on.
Yeah, he's certainly here. He's keen for a Beth onto Tron straight and early. And, ooh, the boomerang going to be flashed away from that slow might have just been enough for Arthur to have the uptime to get that kill.
And I'm wondering if Arthur used his W to get over the wall to the river where he had Sweeper on. So just in my head, the way the vision might have worked there by Tron actually, you know, getting ganked, even though there was a Sweeper being used by the Wukong nearby, might have been that he swept on the other side of the wall before Wing, and the vision was just outright denied.
Sure.
It could just be like, if you're not actively looking at your map, you're not even seeing that happen. You're not seeing a jungler walk in with Sweeper on. So if that is the case, that was really nice from Arthur. I'm a big fan of how that worked.
Checking in with bot lane once again. And I don't believe we touched on the rune choice here for that Sivir. It is going to be the lethal tempo, so no Dark Harvest. Boomerang from afar slowed them down and locked them down. Is very much a case of let the Renata empower you and you just run at 1,000,000 miles an hour, much like a Zeri, but you're just taking everybody with you.
Well, it does mean you're going to get the reckless Sivir build, right? If the average game time is going up, Sivir becomes more and more viable. Sure. You get the 400 plus, I think it's the 450 plus CS win condition from Sivir. Where's going to be there, Tally?
Oh, that's a fantastic glacial too, and there's not much that he can do. He can force a flash to try and juke away from that hook of Aladoric, but he's flashed into the river. He's got nowhere really to run towards, because if he runs any further, he's just going to find many more members topside. Tally's going to claim his soul, and now the pinch is on for Meifan. I was trying to make a gank attempt happen onto Topoon topside. Chiefs are still hunting.
He didn't run towards Meifan. So the curious thing there is I feel like if you walk towards your Greys, you had a Scuttlecrab for the extra movement speed to maybe get out, but fighting again.
Here by the Krugs as they look for the fight. Tronthepom loving life right now with the ultimate. Not there to utilize just yet, but he's certainly got a lot of cleave damage spread around the members of the Chiefs.
Waves building. They're not going to dive.
No, going to back away from this one.
Just going to play it safe this time around, right? You've got the respawns there from Mammoth. Reufury would have been in range with the ultimate on that Xerath also, potentially, if the dive were to come through. You could see he ran straight back towards top lane. Raes going to take away a blue buff here, though, Skimmy, so they're not going to skip a beat in taking on the opposite side of the map that Mammoth are playing.
Get a CS lead, get more adoration stacks, and deny this jungler, deny this Xerath, who's certainly very mana hungry, even if the passive does return some of it from being that barrage of magic from afar. And ensure that Tally has a much better time trading into him. So all across the board so far, much as you'd expect, 7.5 minutes into this one. It is the Chiefs that are up by a fair bit of gold.
Top end no ult, so no one get too nervous about the fact that Tron could die here. There's still a chance for sure once he's mini that he just goes for a boomerang into a 3 auto attack. But at the end of the day, Tron overstaying his welcome, a bit more calculated. Should be able to survive and needs the base. Oh, top end just...
That may be literally just what happened. A couple of cheeky autos. and is happy to trade it for him.
Yeah, he just had it 1-for-1 though. I mean, it's an even wave. it's just Topoon padding his solo kill stats early here.
Oh, here we go again. Another great Glacial Tomb. That sets things up really nicely for Arthur to overlap with his own CC. Another barrier comes across. Meifan rocks up and says, I can try and hit you with a little bit of damage, but certainly enough to answer back.
Yeah, once again, a nice little play there. Recycling what is known, what worked for them. Reufury flashing last time means a huge target goes on his head. Lissandra mid lane, of course, has a lot of kill threat when someone comes in to gank. So really nicely done here by the Chiefs. And it feels like it's really hard to pinpoint exactly who's been scrimming who after our first day of the LCO, just based off draft, because it feels like, you know, the Chiefs have kind of done their own thing. No one else has really done what they're doing. They've just gone full engage. I feel like they're playing the style that works best for them, and it could be that, you know, they're just not going to play enchanters. Aladoric's a very well-known engage player, can play enchanters, but very well-known engage player. That seems to be his comfort. Might just stick to it.
Why not? Don't fix what's not broken. Hex flash across the wall. Great flash afterwards to Meifan, but he's running away from far too many threats. The tally comes across as well, sidestepping all the barrages if he can, but it's not going to be enough as Tronthepom has unleashed the World Ender. And will end at least one person on this occasion. But that might be just it.
Yeah, it was a lot from Tally. Just a little bit too far. The play kind of fizzles inside the pit. Hook. Oh, nice dodge.
Great dodge still. Reufury without a flash, but Raes is here to bolster this one. They're going to lose a fair bit of plates in the bot lane to make this one, but they're going to try and even it out by gaining it with the Herald, which should one-shot this turret with another auto after. First turret at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, no ultimate there for Reufury as well, so not going to have any extra wave clear. Topoon is going to try and sprint his way out. He is one of the most, I'm not going to say reckless, but does use his ult with reckless abandon, just throws it off cooldown constantly. Gnar ult, very low cooldown, and, you know, not always in Mega Gnar form to threaten that one. So fast and loose is what I will call Topoon. One of the few Gnars that actively does it all the time, even to force resets and tempo. They're still getting some money here, right? All things considered, Mammoth, a couple of extra nice trades, a bit of extra money in their pockets, still mid-struggling. It's not often you see a second pick blind Xerath, but so far it's farming even. That's about it.
It certainly is. We'll see though how much money that first strike room can look to try and give Reufury here to find himself in a very strong mid-game to answer back, for them to utilize that ranged argument that we mentioned during the drafting phase. Yes, the Sivir isn't going to be that variation, but certainly the Xerath alone could be enough to try and scout out some positions where Chiefs are looking to try and attack them from, and then take those fights on their own terms. Certainly the likes of a Aatrox, fairly well equipped to try and shut down a Draven as well.
Look at Aladoric, straight up just puts a triangle of vision down in the blue side quadrant. Meifan's going to be waiting in this bush, won't see Tally, so might try and take the fight.
Oh, great flash across the wall there. And just says hello to Meifan, who was looking to try and set up a squeeze of his own. There's the Frozen Tomb afterwards to take over, to try and lock in place Raes, who instantly cleanses, gets handshook against the wall, but won't mind. The damage has been done. They didn't get the double. They'll be gutted about that. One more shot to come out from this Xerath. And that's it.
Now they're going to deny that one from happening, and they're just going to be able to walk this one out. 2-0-1 is the scoreline now for this Draven. That's a lot of adoration stacks that have now been cashed in. And I think it's fair to say, though their opponents aren't touted as a title favourites or contenders yet in Mammoth, Chiefs are looking extremely good with this new addition to the roster in Aladoric, just with how they're able to play around the map, right? The lead that they get just extend so quickly. That is the Aladoric effect. That is one of the things that made Peace so dangerous, is not just winning the lane, but what happens when they win lane, they continue to win harder and very effectively. That is what Aladoric provides.
But I have to go back to that point you mentioned before, right, about how it looks like Chiefs are just playing their own game, right? We've seen a very different style of play where enchanters and a lack of engage have been found. Not to be the case here for Chiefs, because literally any one of these three members here can say, we'll make something happen. And Tronthepom just has no response. Nothing.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 people have engage. One's a Draven, so it's not required for an ADC to have engage, but he engaged earlier with the stand aside. Chiefs very comfortable in their skin right now, and really pushing the tempo, really keeping Mammoth at bay. Topoon is the place that they wanted to target the most right now, break the structures. Bot lane has 2 plates left. We've got a minute on turret plates though, Skimmy, so I'm not sure we'll see too many more from this point, with no Herald to secure for it right now.
memory serves me well, I think Chiefs were one of the only, if the only team that had a perfect game where they got all 5 plates from all 3 lanes in one of their matches in Split 1, which is just insane when you think about it.
Hard to do.
Very hard to do.
Actually, when I was coaching AV, way back when, I had Aladoric playing with me, we actually crafted a comp to take 15 plates. Raes solo kills him that. Yeah, look, you picked Draven and a Sivir for a reason. You've all just seen the reason.
I just let you continue. I was just watching and all.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that we made a comp specifically to do it. So the fact that Chiefs can do it without a comp for it, it is impressive.
It certainly made them very wealthy individuals here on the Rift. And as we can see, usually a check-in as to sort of how skewed a team is towards winning a game is usually found around the 14 to 15 minute mark. Well, they're up close to 7.5k gold. You'd say they're certainly sitting pretty here.
Yeah, this is very much an insurmountable lead already. 14 minutes into this one. Feels like the Chiefs have split one. It's still definitely here with a vengeance.
Meifan has been empowered, having a crack at it. Oh, there's a 3-man knockup with a depth charge there, but they will find Aladoric. Nobody from the side of Chiefs is willing to back him up, and for good reason too. I mean, they've got other things in mind. Tally pushing top, Topoon going, or Tally pushing mid, I should say. Topoon just getting a solo kill top.
And the turret.
Places to be, things to do.
Yeah, Aladoric's the one who's just highly illegal with where he was. He'll get punished, but the cost is so high for Mammoth that in reality is the kill even worth it? You know, like even if he's mispositioned, they're just losing so much elsewhere. And the thing is, I don't know what they actually do. Lissandra has so much control over mid right now and has so much kill threat with a Wukong hover. Topoon is just controlling this 1v1 so handedly. You've seen a lot of damage put out from Tron, to be fair. But at the end of the day, he's not able to control the waves. He's not, you know, hard pressuring in the same way that this Gnar has been. And that really adds up quick.
Certainly has opened up a lot of avenues for attack here for the Chiefs to find themselves planting some very deep vision, as you can see Aladoric doing on your screen right now. And yes, the Umbral Glaive is there for Meifan, but if he's dead, you can't do much about that one as he looks to try and take out these Krugs. There is the Axe, the ultimate from the Draven to deny this back from the Xerath. They don't want 1 kill, they want 2. Nice bit of zap damage coming out from this one as they look to try and keep Aladoric low, so the engaged threat from at least one member of the Chiefs now has been dissuaded a fair bit. Tron walks in, reveals himself. Topoon on the flank, charging up that Rage Bar, getting very close to Mega with the ultimate available. No flash, bear in mind, but a hop, skip, and a jump. And he's one big montage play away.
And if he had a Raptor camp or something to hit on the way up, there was a chance that he comes in with Mega to threaten, but nevertheless, they'll just be able to disengage towards the Rift Tower that they have waiting for them. Aladoric once again goes in super aggressively, the use of the Hex Flash to open up some space. They place nice wards. If you actually take a second to look at the minimap, you will see 4 Chiefs control wards in the enemy red side jungle. That is the easiest base of operations to move from. The most important thing, and this is a small point for anyone that is playing League though, the triangle that they have around the red buff is almost just optimal, right? That just provides you with so much space. You could place it perhaps 1 ward further where they have that regular ward just to give you almost holistic vision. But from that, you can do anything. And that could be gank top lane, right? They had 1 deep ward that shows Reufury recalling Draven ult to find it. It could just be disengaged to the Herald. How long it takes to clear that vision to even get there. It's so free.
It enables you to do literally anything, as you saw there. You can get eyes in the sky to see that the top side. You can make a play bot as they've done just here. That's another Dragon, the second of the game. They've got 5 members playing towards the bottom half of this map in what is appearing so far to be a 4-1 split. Aladoric posturing by the Wolf camp, denying any kind of engage there as they're just going to look to lock back Reufury. There's one stun, there's a second, you're done. And now Raes says, I want to be the king. Instant cleanse on that volatile takeover, going for the kill, gets smoke screen. That could be a bit of a deterrent, but the collateral damage is not enough to try and one-shot him. Meifan is in trouble, he is dead, and now Nautilus is showcasing that I can play Zone D, but I can also get amongst and rowdy. Dragon claimed, Herald summoned, and that inhibitor turret is hanging on by a thread.
And they're going to stick around. 1 attack is all it would take to break this turret. Tron is running on a flank. He's been spotted, however. He's got Topoon in his sights. No, he doesn't. He's just ignoring the man killing him.
He's ignored it. He's just ignored it. He's just going to cop a hook, hit the border and get... That's an insane amount of lifesteal, but Arthur just stands and delivers.
Oh, okay.
And Topoon just rocks in and says, have 1 bolt into the face, perhaps an auto.
Slap.
A flash shot. You can stun me under the turret. Maybe you get this kill. You probably do just at the turret alone.
Hey, 2 more solo kills. Write them down. No one else nearby. He's just making it. He's just stacking them up.
He is padding the stats. That's at least, what, 4 or 5 in 1 game alone.
I don't know if any other regions played yet on this patch, so he probably is the kill leaderboard. first place right now for that, at the very least, anyway.
Number 1 in the world.
Number 1 in the world for solo kills. Tally wasn't even there.
Yeah, that says it all, really, doesn't it?
And this is like, I mean, first of all, Tron's absolutely insane. He's just disregarded. The second, the third proc from Hyper comes through from Topoon, you're like, okay, that's a lot. But he doesn't care. He's just going to go straight in to make the play. It's a Xerath ultimate that actually locks this kill down. And he does get a lot of health back with the activation of the Gore Drinker, but he has no team. Right? Voice is one-hittable. Topoon just walks up, flashes. I mean, that was a lot from Topoon to go for that second kill, but you've got to respect it. I think everyone at home just respects it. He didn't need to, but he did.
You'd be angry screaming at your monitor if he hadn't gone for it, let's be honest.
Yell Gnar.
Saying, why are you being too disciplined? Have at it. Get amongst the brawls nice and early into a start of a split.
He also could have potentially just flash ulted at the start of the play.
Could have.
But that's neither here nor there.
Don't have to work for it.
Again, Chiefs clearing vision together. Skimmy just working together as a team. Raes hovering. Lissandra protected. Topoon with Gnar ready to teleport if something happens. They're just so good at putting the pieces together.
Yeah, and look at every lane right now, swarming with the color blue, pushing in favor here for Chiefs. As Chiefs members will gravitate towards this top side, as you already highlighted, ensuring that Tally will have the pressure, the wave pushing in to get this next outer. And that's Meifan hitting a very early ultimate, not to do really too much in this situation. Topoon literally just cutting, pops over his head, really breaks the ankles of this Aatrox, who has no idea where to hit that next Q charge, and just gets away with murder.
Yeah, Topoon isn't balanced. He's just so good. There's another kill for him, another solo bolo. Marking them off one at a time. Chiefs, while they were dissuaded for one wave, Graves' ultimate was used to clear that wave. They're going to be able to push forward on the next one. Reufury now dealing with Topoon, not going to be able to clear top. So a couple of turrets go down. And that's really what it comes down to, right? If you're good enough to get solo kills on your lane, the rest of your team just has the easiest time existing. You get to do so much work for the map yourself.
So self-sufficient, aren't they, the side of Chiefs? Stars in their own rights, and off to the Baron they go on spawn. We've seen a couple of these today already, actually. Very early Barons, even if the games themselves have been much longer as a whole. No baits required. It just started, and it's just finished.
Tally actually going to be the one who stays, wants to clear an extra wave top, and Mammoth not going to be aware of that. They are just going to let him have that one to get a disengage in. Very nice Baron, actually, by Chiefs. Well timed, no contest, no opportunity for Mammoth to even get close, right? Busy dealing with vision before they get to the pit. And you've got a Drake in 50 seconds for a free reset towards it if you would like. So, again, it's an absolute clinic from the Chiefs. You just watch the way they'll deploy onto the map, and it feels like it's just going to be business on the Rift as per usual for our blue squad.
Certainly kills the side. It's been a perfect game here for the Chiefs. They've taken, they've lost no structures. They've lost no map objective. They'll be looking to certainly start their campaign off here on the right foot once again. Pressure once again building in all three lanes. Topoon going to be collapsed upon in a 1v2. We've seen him win these time and time again. Into Mega he goes, flips on through and says hello to one. Gets a TP from his teammate to say back me up. There's the stun, there's the axe. That's going to drag back and pad them low. The collateral damage to Graves' ultimate was just enough to kill Secure, but Tally picks those two up candidly and says thank you very much. The rest of their team, however, are just breaking the mid and hib, veering their attention towards the bot side and saying it's a 2-for-1.
Yeah, very well played by Tally to make sure those kills did come across, and ends up being a positive trade. 2 inhibitors to drop here as well. Chiefs 100% looking in.
Great flash, but it's an even better deny as they go for the end. And that is the artillery from the Xerath, safe and protected near the fountain. Gold goes out from Tally as he goes into the stasis effect, just out of range of the boomerang. And the final charge from Reufury. One turret has fallen, a second is ever so low. The Baron is still there for another minute and 15, but I think Chiefs are realizing that they have a lot of range on us, and it's not as easy as said.
Yeah, Raes is going to make sure that no one else on his team falls down. They do hold the line barely, is Mammoth this time around. 22 minutes in, though, the free disengage. Once again to the Drake that is there for them. Very easy to take. It'll be a case of a reset and maybe one more big push for the Chiefs. But with no Baron buff, it will be a little bit harder. In saying that, there's one wave left, one lane left to push, that is top. There's one turret left on the Nexus for Topoon to just go by himself. And from what we've seen so far, Skimmy, there's a chance Topoon has a crack at a 1v5. Why not?
Why not? 5 solo kills, if my memory serves me well already, so have a crack.
Here he goes.
And he'll start things off and say, Tally, do not get amongst it. Or maybe just hit him with a Frozen Tomb and I'll pick up the kill anyway. 15 seconds left on this one, and the Chiefs will do whatever they can in this inhib spawned lane with super minions coming on through to try and keep Mammoth locked inside that fountain and forced to concede.
Yeah, stuck in a 4v5, very difficult to stop this one from falling down the second the minions crash. It does mean Baron, as we speak, has just subsided, but Raes...
Yeah.
So much damage.
He's got the axes swirling. He's taking down that second turret rocker with a flash volatile takeover, make them all hate each other. That's a great engage there by Tronthepom. He's done whatever he could with the empowerment from that Renata. He's trying to do it all on his own as a raid boss. 1v5, it's just not enough. Topoon jumps in. He hits them with the boulder. It wasn't enough for lethal. Raes takes the 1v1 into Meifan and laughs at the damage that comes out from that ultimate, but ultimately the base is in shatters. The Nexus itself needs to be taken down. Meifan is not going to get that killing blow. A GA effect is far better than what a Renata can offer. And that able to farm those KDs just a little bit more. It's an ace, a last play of the game, and Chiefs win at 24 minutes.
We said it would be a quick one, Skimmy, and I think by the standards of 12.10, that was a fast game. 24 minutes, they'll find themselves the Nexus, and again, very clean. It's very hard not to just sit here and compliment the Chiefs with how good they looked, and I do think that between Chiefs and Order today, we've seen two stellar performances.
Certainly have, and I feel like already a lot of eyes are going to be quite curious about power rankings from not only ourselves, but also from the community at large, as to thinking, you know, where do we see these teams really posture? Because certainly a lot of these teams have come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, that's the real thing. Chiefs putting their foot down, saying we are here to play, and we want that title. We want to take it back. Well, I guess it's not really taking it back, right? Because they haven't had it yet. They got very close. It was their grand final to lose, and unfortunately they did. But that is a great way to start, managing to fend off Mammoth. Topoon, putting on a show. Might have died a few times, but he definitely was testing limits and just working on those solo kills, as you mentioned, real damn early.
Looked flashy while he was doing it at the very least. Now, there was a certain air of confidence, I think, from Topoon, where he didn't care if he died. It was the kind of vibe that we got, and it did start very early, you would say, the action from the Chiefs. Yeah,
it certainly did. Now, there was just action, as you mentioned, from the get-go. You had Reufury just not ready for this jelly, as you know, you have heard people mention in the past. Now, Kitty, what was your take on the game? What did you think was good? What was bad? And what can Mammoth do to improve?
Well, Mammoth, I think they had some risky picks with the Xerath and Sivir coming in on this game, but I want to compliment the Chiefs. It was really fun watching the Chiefs. It was super refreshing with Aladoric roaming across the map, making these map plays where they executed early proactiveness perfectly with Arthur, and maybe it caught the teams off guard because the current patch, it is a slower game. People are expecting a slower tempo, where Aladoric just accelerated the entire game for it to be just an absolute stomp for Raes.
Because he didn't just leave lane and roam. Like, Aladoric didn't just roam like a conventional roam would be. What he actually did was read the map. Yep. Like, he didn't just leave lane, he knew where they were going and was there ahead of time. And that's the real difference, I think, between Aladoric and like a conventional support roaming, is that he was so good at reading what his opponents wanted to do that he was always putting his best foot forwards on the play.
Yeah. Mans does homework, Mans engages up a storm, and that's exactly what you need from the Naut. But have a look at that Topoon. 27.7k damage done this game. He was in it to win it, and that's where you got to be if you want damage graphs like that. So Mammoth, that is, look, a rough end of the coin, rough end of the stick to be starting off your festivities. But look, every team from here, I guess, should be a little bit easier than Chiefs. So it was a good test to see what they're capable of. Tronthepom doing okay up in the top lane there, managing to at least get a couple of trades on Topoon while he was limit testing there. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Aladoric, from Arthur as well, just combining to make magic happen for the Chiefs.
Yeah, did what he could, right, for the Chiefs. And then at the same time, while Mammoth tried to hold on, it was kind of like a sinking ship for them from level 1 onwards. And maybe what Kitty said is spot on. The pace, the tempo was different because you're expecting slow enchanters. Yeah. And that just wasn't the case.
And look, we had the duality of Nautilus as well. You know, we saw what happened at the start of the day. It didn't quite work. Looked kind of like a corporal overseas affair. But then you had...
How far can we carry this?
Yeah, we're just going back to it over and over. But then you got... Aladoric playing Nautilus there as well, and he made it look stunning, stellar. That hook work, oh, put a bow on it.
It was good. It was really, really good. I mean, how many
really
times did it force that, like, either kills or just flashes away? And then, yeah, you're just thinking, right place, right time, supports can carry.
They certainly can. Now, speaking of supports that can carry, I believe we've got one on the line. The big man.
Wait, that's me.
Down by you.
Yeah, I'm the support that can carry. No, I'm joking. Ali, welcome back to LCO. It's nice to see. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, you?
Well, Matt?
He asked how you were.
Oh, I'm the best support in OC? No, I'm joking. Ali is definitely the best support in OC. Wait, he asked how I was doing?
Yes.
Did I just space out?
You asked how
I'm
he was doing.
Great,
He
Ali.
said, how are you? The general flow of conversation would go, hey, Aladoric, I'm
all
great.
for this.
How are you doing after that W? You feeling good? You're looking good. And you're in the Chiefs' house now as well.
Well,
Yeah, no, it's pretty nice here.
Really is. There you go, Kitty.
it's a late night for everyone, but let's get on with the questions. So, what was the game plan after you saw the Sivir and Xerath locked in for Mammoth?
We just wanted to play early game, play really aggressive. Just that, pretty much. Just end the game in 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, you missed the mark by, what, 3-4 minutes? So you're getting there. I feel like if you keep playing like that, if you keep bringing that aggression, we're set to see you going under that 20-minute mark. All right, let's take I guess, predictions. What do you think is going to be the shortest game for the split? And what are you aiming for? Like 16, 17? What do you think you can do it in?
Yeah, I reckon, well, I want to beat the record, so under 16:58, I think it is. Something like that.
Okay.
That would be nice.
And against who?
Oh, against who? Peace for sure. I just want to beat Violet, dude.
Oh, that'll be a good game.
Well, speaking about other teams, what do you think Chiefs' advantage is going to be for Split 2 that will let you guys get that throne in the grand finals?
I think we have really good team play. Like, everyone here is just really driven to win as well. Like, it's just really good team play, I think. Really good team.
Okay, well, look, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for having a quick chat to us, Ali. And we are probably going to see you tomorrow, I guess, because, what, you got another easy game?
Yeah, pretty easy, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Beautiful. All right, we'll let you go. Thank you so much. And
Thanks, guys.
have a good night. So,
See ya, you too.
that was Aladoric. He's back. And a man of few words. But look, we're just warming him up. We're just, you know, putting the oil on top, putting him in the oven. Sooner rather than later, this man is going to come out looking beautiful. He's going to be the A-grade interviewee that we really want here on the LCO.
He's got the skimmy approach to the way he speaks as well. It's very fast and loose. So you need to be really ready to hear what he says. If you're not listening intently, you might miss it.
He was talking too fast, so I missed the how are you?
Yeah.
So my bad.
He's me on a quiet day.
I just didn't want you to leave him on red, you know? I was like, look, you just tell him you're good. Just
I
tell
have
him,
like
Kitty.
a bad habit with ghosting. It's happened to Skimmy before.
I felt it. Yeah. I have felt it.
Anyway, look, we got a Dare MVP. Skimmy, I'm a savior. I'm gonna let you just dwell on that for a sec. Let's have a look at who the Dare MVP was for the fourth and final game today.
Hey.
With big man up
Topoon.
top, Topoon.
son.
Ooh, he's showing off some bicep with that one, isn't he? 69%. Haha, nice. Kill participation coming through there as well. But look, really putting on a show. And with 40% damage
40?
share, I think this man did it perfectly, Kitty.
This man is the full package, you know. You have the 69 KP with the 40 damage share. I think that's probably the highest we've seen so far in our MVP slots.
Yes.
think so.
Maybe there was a game where it was like maybe 50. Someone like a Praedyth or a Violet back in the day.
Oh, there's been
going-
games in the past. Yeah, I don't
For
think we've
sure.
seen one so far this split that could contest top
Oh,
moon.
no.
But
Well,
look,
there's
it's a
been
Lulu cog meta, so
one
I'm
day.
not going to say it won't happen.
Nah.
There's definitely a world where it works. 9, 3, and 7. He didn't have the cleanest KDA in comparison to the other people that were there, but he risked it. He put his life on the line as the Gnar,
Yes.
and it looked great. It looked great, didn't it, Skimmy?
It did. I mean, those deaths were to find more kills. It was always trading up twofold. So look, we were already having a bit of a discussion early on into this one, right? How many solo kills could he get? I think he is out right now the best player in the world.
Well, look, he's the Dare MVP for the fourth
Until
game.
the other regions play.
Yeah, until the other regions play. So it's a good place
Just
to
a
be.
quick asterisk.
We could say, you know,
Some
we're
bold
the
claims.
best broadcast in the world right now as well.
True.
But also the only one. So, look, I'll take that any day of the week. But look, we do have a play of the day. Any memorable ones to throw out into the ether before we go and figure out what it is?
Probably a Kanga game fight. Just off the top of my head, though, that was one of the closest team fight games.
I want to say Lionel stealing the dragon.
Okay. Yeah, no Baron steals today either. Nothing super crazy. Maybe some one-on-ones, maybe some two-on-ones.
Maybe Fighter going in with the Tristana picking up multiple kills? Maybe?
Okay, well, I'm not too sure what it is, so we're going to find out together. Let's have a look at what the play of the day is. Kitty, you ready to do some play-by-play?
Well, as we enter into this game, it is definitely the Kanga vs PGG match where we do have Lived on the flank, and he is slurping 4 people, and we see, what's his name? Winter. Sorry, I have contacts in. We see Winter slurping the other 4.
The screen is far away, let's be fair.
Period.
Winter
I'm
with
doing
the
the
slurp
Ariana
juice
Grande
active.
stare at the screen.
Yeah.
Drinks on the slurp juice, does the what is it? One of those dances on him at the end.
Yes,
the L dance, something like that.
Yes, yes.
I believe this game as well, no, that was in one of the earlier games. They were dropping those emotes everywhere. But look, a great performance coming out of PGG there. Big damage and a good old turnaround. Kanga maybe mispositioning a little bit there in that fight. But that, of course, was the play of the day. A big W for PGG. And look, all the favorites won. I don't think there was anything left to be desired. And unfortunately for all you underdog voters in the, the dead fan vote, you all lost your points today. But just keep watching, keep around, and you can work those back up and then lose them again. Now, look, let's have a look at the standings, how everything went today. It was, as mentioned before, expected. So you got Peace, Pentanet, Order, Chiefs all up there in first place. Congratulations. Do we have 4 trophies for them?
I think that's Kitty's power rankings.
That's literally so close to my power rankings.
Is it really? Ooh, well, maybe.
Leaking?
Why didn't say a single
you put
name?
Chiefs in 4th? That's crazy. Now, look,
correct.
Skimmy, anything crazy here? What are we expecting to change over maybe this week? There'll be a couple of 2-0s. There'll be, the couple of 0-2s after tomorrow.
I think for me, the biggest thing is always going to be who gets that 5th and final playoff spot, right? Because you look historically, at least last year anyway for LCO, and it was a very slow start for the likes of Gravitas and Mammoth, but by Split 2, they doubled the amount of wins they got. So if we always talk about this narrative that Split 1 for these rosters, they come in, they look to try and develop new talent, harness them before they ultimately go bigger and better or do something else with their career. You're hoping once again that Gravitas and Mammoth can look to try and knuckle down and find that sort of success story, and it doesn't just feel like a default Direwolves will take that one, given how close their game was against Peace today. So I'm excited to see who gets that 5th spot.
Well, look, to check out this success story, we've of course gone through Chapter 1 on day 1 here, but we've got to get to Chapter 2, and that's tomorrow. So let's have a look at the schedule and see what you guys get to see here. Ooh, there is some spicy matchups coming through for day 2. Kanga, Peace to kick things off. Direwolves, Gravitas at 7, 8 p.m. We got PGG and Mammoth. And then look at this one, the grand final rematch on day 2. Of course, it's just a best of 1, but this is really going to be a test of form for both of these teams, Kitty.
I'm always looking forward to any Chiefs games, especially after that performance from them on day 1. But I'm also looking towards the first game where Kanga has always been Peace's kryptonite. So have they developed since Split 1? We don't know until tomorrow. Yeah,
there's a few that could go either way. Look, Gravitas, Direwolves, both on that 0-1 scoreline. One of the teams is going to be popping a little bit higher. So we'll see who's going to be able to take that fatty dub in that second game. And the scoreboard, leaderboard rather, going to do a bit of shuffling. One team, Order or Chiefs, is going to cop an L real early on in this split.
Yeah, I mean, if there's ever going to be a team you want to lose to, though, you'd be pretty comfortable with it being one of the other top dogs, because then that kind of plays into securing a top position regardless. But yeah, I think there's going to be a big grudge match tomorrow. I'm very excited for Order and Chiefs.
For sure.
A lot of action. And look, to make sure you don't miss any of the action, make sure you sign up for the email list, the EDM. So !mail in the chat. Remember, it's spelled M-A-I-L, like on your screen there. If you type in !MALE, I will hunt you down and probably give you a big hug, maybe a big smooch, because of course it is Pride Month. So make sure you kiss your homies and sign up for the EDM.
Do it any month.
I was hoping
just
someone
particularly on Pride Month.
would do like a, something like that, but you'll just let it sit.
I just can't tell with you. You've done enough awkward silences and pauses today that I just never know what we're going to get.
Hey, look, I'm leaving the space for everyone.
Yeah, while talking to the camera directly. There's so much space.
There's so much space. Look, anyway, this is just a taste of the fun that we have here back in the studio. Yes. I can't believe we're all here, all together, every single day. You guys are going to hate me by the end of this.
Oh, I'm loving it already. It's going to become chaos. We're going to be doing like neck rubs on the couch. We're going to be like full on just like sleeping on the couch and then waking up. Oh, it's day 2.
Oh. Okay, you want a neck rub now to close the day out?
Sure, mate, sure, mate. Oh,
wait, why are you coming over here?
No, I'm giving it to you,
You're giving me one!
It's a hard job being a host, bro.
I thought I was the
Love your
masseuse
homies, mate.
Anyway, look, I believe that's it for the day. I'm going to enjoy this. You guys, same time, same place tomorrow for day 2 of the LCO delivered by Menulog. See you then.
Sure. Against the world, what can he do? The pillar goes down. Not going to be found. Ren stack 1, looking for a double. I've seen Puma win these. He's going for floppy. Winning. He gets a double kill. He will literally fight his way out of this Baron pit. He does not seem to matter. Tyron rocks up and says, where is my team? How have they died? I thought we were meant to be jumping upon you. There's a triple kill. And now Puma's 8-0. Just wants to hit the chains, engage, hit the ult. And Frost very close. There goes out the ultimate. They're going to answer back. Both going into bird form and looking to try and take down those key targets. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. There's going to be a double kill here found by Predator. He's looking to try and make it a triple kill. He wants them all. He's still alive. But they have found 4 members. Flank from Lisa. That's a 3-man cyclone straight away. Will R2 come across? As they have to walk out the lands with Spire. Look at him go. It's a double kill. It's a late game Cogmore. Put your faith in Clip. Sim going to do whatever he can. He's run out of charms. He's run out of cooldowns. And just going to get absolutely smashed in his fountain. Yeah, it is. It is. He's just ignored it. He's just going to cop a hook, hit the border and get... That's an insane amount of lifesteal. But Arthur just stands and delivers. Oh, okay. Topoon just rocks in and says, have 1 bolted to the face. Perhaps an auto. Slap. A flash ult. You can stun me under the turret. Maybe you get this kill. You probably do just with the turret alone.
Hey, look. Menu Pog.
It's a double! Michael double! Michael triple! There you go. Jubesy loses.
Jubes to be proud of that one, surely.
That was
iconic.
Beautiful. I miss Jubes.